let us begin with the first impression of Congo Inc. So, Jean, my first question, mute. And in film, jazz functions as both a language of freedom and a tool of power. And this week, political leaders in the West have publicly admitted that the rule of law has often served to enforce submission rather than justice. Do you see literature operating in a similar dual role today, both challenging power structures as well as being absorbed by them? And how does an African writer navigate this tension?
Of course, we write, but we don't give no solution. We just think. We just think. When I write a book like the Congo Inc, uh, I thought about a topic that is not especially for Congo. That means globalization. Even we are in the center of that globalization. But I was thinking about writing a book about globalization, and I thought, what is the best trauma the globalization has bring to us?
This meeting is being recorded.
And the worst thing was the globalization. When I read this, was when 2014. It was the death of, that time it was maybe 6 million people. From that 6 million people, there were 500,000 women raped and mutilated. For me, it was not the fall of the banks that was the best, the worst thing that was happening. It was the war. And the Congo is the center of the globalization because of cobalt, because of coltan, because of copper, uranium, and coming oil. So we are in the center. Without us, the book is just the demonstration that without Congo, the world is not like you see the world. Demonstration. Why? Because, and the end of that book of Congo Inc, the last phrase is, before the epilogue, the last phrase is Congo, laboratory of the future. That was 2014. Because what? Because why? Because I'm Congolese. I'm African. And it happened to be that this Congo is problematic, that the center of Africa. And that's where you find it is the richest country in all Africa. So I look at the world from Congo. But the last phrase, future. Why? Because I say, one day, the journalist, they asked me, yeah, why did you write that here in Europe? I say, because one day, we're African, we are getting more clever and clever, not even, we find the tools to play with the democracy, this concept that they put everywhere. Because the same tool, we become more and more intelligent. And our head was already tough, and it become more and more tough. And we see that in our children, me as an old man. my children are more radical than me. Much more, not a little. I say, what you do to us in Africa and most of the country of the South, we went through everything that a human being can endure, for centuries. So today we are different. We have become very. I don't say when they say, "Yeah, you're getting old." I say, "I don't get old. I'm fossilizing." I'm 71. When they say I'm old, I say, "No, I don't get old. I get old already." You understand? Now at 71, I'm fossilizing.
Mm-hmm.
And Africa too. I say, what we do to us today, you're going to see it's just a laboratory. For us, African, it's a laboratory. The way tomorrow is going to be, because to us, you're not going to play with us like you played before. It's going to get there. And then when they need us for the raw material and everything, but one day it's going to get more and more hard to take from us, to restrain us. They're going to come back to you, European. That was 2014. After a few years, you see the fall of Greece and fall of few nations here in Europe. And then you see the World Monetary Fund coming. That tool that put us down for decades in Africa, the World Monetary Fund coming, Greece, Portugal, I think, in 2-3 countries in Europe. After
If
that,
we stay on the, sorry.
After that, you have the war of Ukraine. It's a proxy war, the same kind of war we have in Congo. So the American government fighting Congo, they send their on this proxy war. Because of that proxy war, the guy, a European white man, they chase him in the international court, the same as an African. So normally you go in the neck, there's only Africans. Milosevic killed himself. They're all Africans. And now we cry about colonization, and what is Trump is menacing them to colonize Canada, everywhere. And they're shaking their.
I was gonna get to that. That laboratory has turned on colonizers.
And it's 2014. It's only 10 years. Huh? Yeah, hearing the wind of colonization is on them. We laugh. We're growing, even little by little, brick by brick. I go in Africa. I was in Kenya not a long time ago. I was in Lagos not a long time ago. I've been in Mali. I've been in Morocco. I've been everywhere. Countries. Even we speak, we cry every day. We are angry for the country. Yes, we criticize Congo everywhere, every day. But we are growing here, going down. Even it's little by little, every day something, and maybe a road is made, maybe a airport is, maybe the port is going to make it more deep. Little by little. Then here is going down. It's going. I'm here. And my thinking about the Congo Inc was about globalization. I didn't, but the problem is me, the writer. I take Congo and I put it in the center of the world, and then I look at the world. When I made Mathematiques Congolaises, my first book that is not in English yet, that book I made it. It's about what do you call political manipulation. Everybody were thinking that it's about the Congo. It was the same time when there was war in Iraq. You know, because the first
So
time I
if
saw
we,
Colin Powell in the thing, I didn't believe him because in the night I was writing the same thing. You know, I didn't believe him. I started to laugh because in the night before I was writing the same thing, how to manipulate with just something stupid. You know, and because I put the Congo in the center of the world.
you mentioned
Point of view of a
globalism. Jean,
Sorry?
you mentioned globalism.
Yeah.
You mentioned globalism just recently. So if we stay a bit with globalism and global capitalism, as well as your personal experience or concept, in Congo Inc., we see globalism feeling
Yeah.
like almost as if it's alive, as if it were one of the characters in the book. And when you were growing up in Congo as a child, did you experience global economic forces as abstract ideas or as something that was immediate and concrete in everyday life? And how has that shaped the way you write about capitalism and exploitation?
Because I see the exploitation when I was, since I'm, as you say, when I was a child. I'm born before the independence, you know, 57, 54, you know. So I knew the big companies because of the plantation, all the oil, the coffee, everything was going to the rich companies, you know, that today get a lot of, I mean, multinational. The United Nations, your organisation de l'ONU, United Nations for me is not the way people see United Nations here. My first war was because of United Nations were there. That's the way they catch Lumumba. You know? So I know when everybody is crying, US heads, Trump cut the US head. Everybody cried. Yeah, John, you can imagine they cut the US head in Africa, what they're gonna do. I know US head in what time? 1963, 4. We were chicken from US heads. This chicken, it was in a tin. It was in a tin. You open it, the juice of the chicken, and cooked. Cooked. It was a big chicken. We liked it because we were children. Why we liked it? Because something, the bone, you take a bone of a chicken, you make, and it crushed like a biscuit. You know, they was giving us that to eat. US head.
Well,
I was a little child. But you could see this man, he's throwing the US head. He want to know everything. He learned the language in the States, huh? So you know he's a spy. As a child, you know that this guy is a spy, American spy. And we were thinking the chicken was bad. I don't know. I think it was some supply from the last war, 45. They was giving that to us. You can imagine a bone. You take a corpse, you know, in the ground. You put it for 100 years. The bone is still gonna be there. You know, but the bone of the chicken was melting like that. Maybe, of course, your mother will see that 1 time, 2 times after you're not allowed to eat it anymore. But for us, it was like because it was like biscuit, not a hard biscuit, but just a, and it goes the bone of the chicken. That's US head. You know, so all those things. I know, I know, you know, I know because I put Congo in the center of the world. Because everything they see today, we laugh. But that's why there is that video game, Raging Trade. Virgin trade. Just so like that, maybe European, they're going to understand that all that is a game. But my first thing it was not Fukushima the problem. For me, it was the problem of Congo. The problem was not the fall of the bank in 2008. That's nothing. The fall of Wall Street. That was the biggest problem they had in that globalization that time. Congo, nobody think about Congo. So I have to talk about Congo. I call the book Congo Inc. It's not a country. It's not a sovereign country. It's the first reserve, the global reserve for raw material, Congo. So that means we have to know that as Congolese.
Let's change direction a bit and talk irony, satire, and humor. And your writing often uses irony, satire, and humor, even when addressing brutal histories. And do you see humor as a form of resistance, a survival mechanism, or something else? And does it allow you to dismantle systems of power in ways direct critic cannot?
No, because I don't know if we call it humor, irony, maybe, but in français it's dérision, dérisoire. I don't know, the dérisoire, something. Why? Why? So it just, why? C'est quoi? It's more that because I have a personal history, I have a personal history and I live that history. Because if you see me here in Belgium today, it's because I was in Belgium when I was a child. And if I came in Belgium, because I have a personal history that make me move and live all the things, to live the history. I mean, when you are there the day of the independence of Congo, that means a lot. You live it, you feel it. You know that it's the day of independence. The war of Mulele War. You live it. You have to escape the country. You live it. Your children or your parents. Because for me, it's generation. Escaping war here, war there. I mean, so this tree, you live it but you're there. I never lost a parent in front of me like that or something, I mean, everything for me that I see, I'm how do you call it? A kind of conqueror of life. I prevail. So we laugh. When you're together in the family, we laugh.
Is laughter a coping mechanism, would you say, or what? I mean,
because we are alive, just alive. And that all these things, I won those wars, little wars of my life. Normally I should not be alive today, but I'm alive. So I laugh to tell them that anything you do will be there, human being.
Right.
Anything you do.
Kind
There's
of like
nobody
we will
for.
still rise.
Sorry?
We will still rise, no matter what.
Of
Still
course,
rise. Yeah,
of course.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And you can be alive for just a little bit. Sometimes it's not even a big thing, just a little thing and you're alive. Or a little word.
Mm.
Just a word, one word. But it was the appropriate word.
Mm.
But what I know is that talking is important. Talking is
Absolutely.
important. You never stay. Talking is important. That's why I like to write books.
Isn't the talking? So I attended this conference recently, and they talked about talking as an important tool in terms of healing, but also doing it in community. What would you say about that, rather than maybe processing things on your own? That African way to do it is like you do it in community.
I mean, in my tribe, I'm a Mongo from the forest, like Isokanga. No, Isokanga is from the forest. Isokanga and me, we are the same. We are different tribe. He's a pygmy. 1 meter 40. I'm 1 meter 80 something. So, but he's the same tribe. They are Mongo like me. He's a Konda, me and Penge. He's another clan. And Isokanga, and in my tribe, we are the first jurisdiction. What do you say? Jurisdiction in the law, the first. Like, by Mongo is the word. Any speak, and you have to listen to him. A child, old man, women, men, everybody. Just come in the center of the village, you say, come, and everybody is to come. But you're not alone. You don't come to come with people with you. Even you are 10 years old. And then what you have to say, you say it.
Beautiful.
We are not shy. I mean, I'm a people, I grow that no, you're not shy to speak. Shy for other thing, yeah, but for us to speak, never. You have a problem with somebody straight, you say to him, don't wait. No. You don't wait. The same time, there's a problem. The same time, you ask him and you discuss about it, and it's gonna be solved anyway. But the straight, never wait, never. Word is the first. It's like Supreme Court. It top everything before war, or before anything, or before to marry. Before to marry, before for important things, words.
Absolutely. So you,
I mean, it's natural. This thing that, and not only talking, because you can talk. But there's no. Sometimes in Europe here they talk about griot. Maybe there's griot in your tribe. I said no. To me, there's no griot, because griot is people special to speak about the king, about this. To us, no. Everybody can speak. There's not special people to speak. You see? That's why maybe I wrote very late. I think I was 60, 50 when I started to write. Because anytime I can say, okay, I write. I have something to say. And that's all.
But it sounds beautiful, like you did that may exist in other tribes or in other countries. Like in your tribe, it's like or among your people, everybody are equal, regardless of age.
Yeah. Everybody.
So
So
can I ask
what
you a
I,
personal can I ask you a personal question, because I've wondered about that for months now. What does In Koli mean?
Koli is a wound,
A wound. In Koli is
a
a
wound,
wound.
but a fresh wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a story behind your mother naming you In Koli?
No, it's the name of her father, but I don't know why he get that name.
Okay. All right.
But the father, me, I put the name of my mother, Bofane.
Mm. Mm.
And in my tribe, the names, everybody's got his own name.
Mm.
You know, my mother was Veronique Bofane, her sister, Bala Thérèse,
Mm.
her brother, Bompete Clément. You
Mm.
know, everybody had a different name.
Yeah.
But then you could have to say who's your father, who's your mother, and
Mm.
your village.
Mm.
But not everybody has his own name.
Mm. Yeah.
Don't belong to nobody. You see what I mean? Don't belong to
Kind of
nobody.
like you're kind of like amplifying that everyone's unique in their own way.
Yeah. You know.
Mm. That's
And when the white man came, and he came with that the children, the child must have the name of the father. Like, you know, all the women, it was like you take her child, you take her child, you know,
exactly.
because the name go to the father. It's not normal. But even my wife, my ex-wife, when I married her,
Mm.
I say her name is Annie Chinyama.
Mm.
So I said just before the marriage to make the paper and all those things. I said, Annie, you're gonna take the name Chinyama Bofane. I know. I asked her if I think the name Chinyama. You think he's gonna Annie Bofane? You know, like she looked at me. She said, "What do you
No,
want me to do? To take off the name of my father and take yours?"
exactly. I think you are.
I didn't say anything. I just shut my mouth. I didn't say that. It was really stupid, you know, to say she's gonna take the name of her father from my name. It was stupid, you know. You know, that's some rules like that. But in Africa, we know how to live human being with human being.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's beautiful, even though it's I still kind of I don't know about the child taking the father's name automatically, but I think it's beautiful that the wife keeps her name, and
Really?
then maybe the children can decide upon when they grow
Yeah,
up.
the name of my mother.
Yeah,
It's good. It
beautiful.
changed a little. It's you know, but you know in the Congo Inc, I talk about the freedom of women by tribe, you
Mm.
know, by the Mongo.
Mm.
You know, I mean,
Beautiful.
it's very we are like that. But the wife I married, which is Luba, they are very strict with women. So a lot of girls from Luba they go to marry us because we are much more free, of course. You know.
Ah,
Yeah, well.
it's like a strategic.
By the Luba, you can do this, you can do that, and you can do this, you can do that. But it was no. You can even have two men if you if you want. You know,
Yeah.
you can have polyandry. I talk about polyandry in Congo Inc. That a woman she can have two men.
But
If
it's not.
the first one failed.
But it feels like it's something that has sort of been buried. Nowadays,
No,
when you
it's,
talk like polygamy, it's often that the men have several wives. whereas
Most of the time
it has become a
people talk about
taboo
that.
thing for the woman to have.
It's very. I mean, that's why sometimes in my books all the time I want to I make the promotion of ancestor way of thinking.
Yeah,
I think so. It's much more smooth and it's much more. Anyway, it been for centuries and millennia. So there's other ways. In my new book, the Cannibal Nation is the same. I talk about our own way of thinking, which is
it's more human focused, I feel, rather than institution focused.
Voilà. We are collective society, but everybody's got his own way.
Exactly. It's kind of not like the collectivism where you as an individual just gets completely swallowed in the whole, but we are united, but we're still one.
We always promote that. Because even though the modern time, of course, there's a lot of bad things comes, but for the moment, the roots are still there. I was in for example, when I go to Latin America or I go to Africa, most of the festival and things, it's much more. You can have a lot of much more, not only writers, people who think, or maybe a Jeju man or somebody who's got a project in one village like that, or somebody who speak about to talk about the language, for example, of that tribe or that tribe. We have a lot of much more mixing. I mean, people try to find other things than this West way of thinking.
Right.
I mean, it's time because he has become like a nightmare.
It's a bit too much separation. So let's switch gear a bit and talk memory, trauma, and storytelling. So we know that you were a child when Patrice Lumumba was assassinated. I think you were 6 years old around that time. And sorry?
Yeah, I was 6.
Around 5, 6, right? And can you describe your first memory of that moment, like what you saw, heard, or felt, and how that experience shaped your understanding of violence, silence, and power in your writing?
I mean, when I saw when Lumumba died, the 17th January of 61, we had escaped, our family had escaped in September from Congo. We escaped because of war. So when I was in, then we escaped to Belgium. That's the first time I came.
Yeah.
And so I saw the death of Lumumba on television. Not the 17th of January. Because they didn't, I think it was in February, they started to talk about the death of Lumumba, saying that he was killed by some Congolese. That's the way what they thought. But that was coming from war, that's said, And then we saw this footage, but they catch him, when they arrest him and they get him out of the plane. So I said, I had that was, when you're a child, sometimes you have a nightmare that comes regularly. My nightmare until maybe 10 years old, coming every week. Well, that nightmare, me, was Lumumba in flames.
No. Okay.
The same scene, but you put flames.
Wow.
The scene is so bad you put flames. That was on my nightmare. I wake up in the night if I'm lucky.
But would you say that because in our previous talk earlier last year, you talked about your impression of French as a
Well,
language of violence. Did that kind of amplify the whole impression, having the previous experience of French just being a language to insult us, to give us order, or kill or whatever, and then you have the story of the assassination of Lumumba, and did that kind of culminate into an even bigger trauma for you, or what would you say?
yeah, but it was, I think it was when I talk to you that history, I really lived it. It's not I read it in the book, the story of Congo, and no, it was. I mean, French, for example, can be only violence. How come it can be something else? It was nothing to do with the French I'm speaking today. Nothing. Nothing. But that's the perception that I had as a child. When they open their mouths, it's just for to insult people, to give orders, make the face like this.
I find it incredible that, I mean, as a child, you already had captured even the essence of it, of that violence, because you were talking about saying asifi, but it wasn't just asifi that you mentioned. It was the fact that you connected that action, or those words, with the beating.
I have to put this chair or something. My fist on the chair.
Yeah.
To show that I'm a white man. I do like white men.
No, I mean, you probably had to. You had to process that, but I can imagine coming from having the colonial experience and then having Lumumba dying and then having the nightmares that haunted you until you were 10 years old. I mean, how did you did you process that?
I lived it. I couldn't do. I lived it. I had to live it. And that's and it's my country. It's my country. So we escaped from the country, and we always got back. The family always got back to Congo. That's 60 war, for war, to the 91, 93. They said, no, it's too much for one man, one family. What I lived, my children live the same. My children live the same. The youngest one is 8 years old. They live the same.
There is a continuity to that
There's something like that.
It's like, I don't think any generation of Congolese, if we talk from independence to now, has kind of been spared the wars.
There's a lot.
Because I left around so I left 92, and so I experienced the pillage, that one. Also the shooting, the military shooting and walking around.
Yeah.
So it feels.
My children, they came in 91.
And looking at the movie, you're like, every single generation has experienced that.
Voilà. All the Congolese
not that new.
Shootings.
Yeah. It's not that new. I mean, we talk in recent politics, we talk 30 years back, but if you go even 30 years back from that, it's like the people in the, who were living in the 50s, 60s, they experienced that. The 70s, they experienced that, and so on.
That's why I tell you, a lot of us, they've experienced small or big, but most of them, they hear shootings. You know, his shooting is even you don't believe in God, you're gonna cry God when it's shooting outside your home.
Right.
Even you don't I don't believe in God. Huh? The day's gonna be shooting in front of your house. You're gonna kneel down and pray God. Anybody.
Mm.
You can't call nobody. Not the cops, because the cops they're shooting. You can't call your lawyer or your assurance company. No. No, they go down on your knees.
Mm.
You know, and all the generation, most of us in Congo. I don't even talk about the one in Coup, 30
I
years
know.
old.
I know. Yeah. Mm.
All those Wazalendo, they're all born in war.
Mm.
They come in war, there was shootings. There was people cutting in pieces, killing their mother, their brother, their father. Those Wazalendo you see in Congo.
Mm.
That's why nobody's going to take this country. No, nobody's going to take Congo, never. Impossible. We've been all through something, a trauma, real trauma.
Today was the second time I watched a movie, and I mean, you always discover something new every time you rewatch a movie. And I think in the discourse about what's going on in Congo and the turning of or the becoming the so-called capital of rape, where the M23 are basically tearing up communities through forced rape between parents and kids and so on. I think there's like in the public memory, it seems to have been forgotten that this was not initially an African thing, because the white mercenaries, were the one that first introduced this. Have you thought about that?
No,
There's a part
no,
in
but it's not,
there's a part in the movie where the guy is talking like, okay, we were there, and then we would round them up, and then like, is this your child? And you have to make love with that child. And it's always portrayed as well, or at least for us younger generations, as this is an African thing. Look at those savages, what they do.
Never, never. They made I was working in a think tank of prevention of conflict. So I read the report, and for 4 years I did that. So that's the fruit is Congo Inc. Because the war is annoyed. And comment on dit, crime de masse, mass crime.
Nice crimes, yeah.
I study all of them, Yugoslavia, everywhere. Everywhere they were genocide, Cambodia. So Rwanda, évidemment. Rwanda, Congo. And there is you could see when you could study the wound, the wound of the Hutu did to the people by the training they have, the people who was working with them, which training they have by the French. Because you can't kill somebody easily like that.
No.
You have to know that you have to have a technique. So they put this, they search the traces of this, the training of the Hutu, and they found it was by that kind of officer.
So basically, the crimes, the crimes committed.
In Congo, it's the same. If they look good, the way this crime is done, they're gonna see in which American academy they learn this thing.
That's
easy.
Interesting link.
That's why Mukwege is a very bad witness for a court, because Mukwege, he can tell you is this group who did that to that woman. This is the one from that group, because they learn it.
Yeah.
It's technique. if I give you a knife, kill that person. Maybe you have to make 100 times before he fall down.
Mm.
But not when you know the technique 1, 2 times. It's okay.
Mm.
You know, all that you in the. I mean, all those things, long time things. What those what is name? Those mercenary in the movie they were talking about it. That was 64. That's when I was a child. Those people, I know them because when I was in 64, I was already in Belgium in 1960. You know, I studied here, and then we went back to Congo in 63. 63, I was speaking French correctement, and those mercenaries they came there. Were meeting them in the swimming pool. They hear me speaking French. Say, you speak? I was a little boy, 10 years old.
Yeah.
You see me in the movie. You see me plunging.
Exactly.
In the movie,
Yeah,
they were the mercenaries. They were coming there, you know, to have a drink and have a good time. And I was there to say, you speak French? Yeah, you speak French. Where did you learn French? I said, in Belgium. You were in Belgium because there was no Congolese at that time. You were in
Yeah.
Belgium? Yeah, I was in Belgium. Which street? I said, okay. So every day they were coming home, taking me, put me on the jeep,
Yeah.
and then they go to drink and all that. They take me with them every day, most of the day, you know. So I was with them all the time at the swimming pool and all that. So when they were speaking about the war they were making, you know, those guys
Oh,
made them. Well, when I was small,
yeah.
you know, because I was the only one because it was a small town, you know. You
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
imagine that this guy, a little boy, could speak French, and he
right.
knew Brussels, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were with the Belgian mercenaries.
But
But
you
I know
got
those guys.
you got first hand the
Sorry?
recount. You got first hand
Oui.
recount of
I was
what
well
they were
down with
doing.
them with the weapons and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh wow.
the way they were cleaning the guns. There's one scene like that in one on the first Mathematic Congress, where I talk about even the smell of the oil.
Yeah. They use it.
They clean the guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Till
Yeah.
today I have it in my nose. You know.
But it is those type of small things that becomes an imprint from traumatic experiences. Like whether how
I talk of the noise of the cutlass, when you take the
exactly
gun, it makes you know this.
exactly
When I hear that, you know,
directly connecting it to the memory. Absolutely.
I don't like it.
No.
You know, those things. I wrote in just few words. The Mathematic Congress, my first novel. I mean,
Jean,
the memory. To me, I don't even know if it's memory. You know, it's more written in the flesh like that, something more like that. But I mean, we are Congolese.
but
We're
would you say
Congolese.
that maybe it has become a part of your cellular memory
Voilà.
in a way
You know?
because you've lived it and you've relived it and you relived it so much that it's
And you know
it
that
is there.
it's not going to stop today, and then we know it. We know that our fate is complicated.
Mm.
But we laugh a lot.
We have to try.
We eat good.
Mm.
We make music good. We are intelligent people.
We have lots of
You know?
intelligent people. We need unity.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Jean, we have
Go to see the Congolese, the professor in the university. A lot of Congolese in Australia, everywhere. A lot. And good professors.
Jean, we have about 5 minutes, I think, before the technician here would like me to finish up here. So I'm going to close with a question about audience reflection and message. So for those encountering Congo's history for the first time through this movie, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and your work, what would you say is the most important insight or feeling you hope that they take away with them? And how would you want your readers or viewers to carry this story forward?
I mean, with the soundtrack for the coup d'etat, there's a lot of reality come out. A lot. Even me, who know the history of Congo, I know the story of Congo, but I had a lot of surprises. And I mean, that's the work of the memory. Johan Crémonpré did a fantastic job. And not only the technical quality of his work, but the way he linked those steps, in the rise of the independence through somebody like Lumumba. You could see some links from the black community in America and in Africa, and the solidarity of Lumumba. You could see the non-aligné, the Khrushchev and all those things. When I was small, I was seeing, Khrushchev banging his shoe on the table, and in the Belgian television, they were saying the guy is crazy, and then now with soundtrack for a coup d'etat, I learned that no, he was not.
It wasn't, right?
He was because they killed Lumumba. But all my life, I hear this thing that this guy was banging because he was crazy.
No, it was right, and they deliberately excluded him from all those important meetings as well. That's like you'd see all the backstabbing, basically.
And and when the Lumumba was killed on 17th January, nobody knew until February something. Nobody knew.
So
the day I was in France yesterday. One Congolese man came there. He said he was in a Catholic school. He was in a Catholic school, and after seeing soundtrack, he said he was in a Catholic school. In Catholic school, they said to the children that he was maybe 10 years old or something. He's older than me. He said in the school, they were saying to them that Lumumba is a communist.
Sorry, can you repeat that? No, we.
He was saying, the people, the professor, the priest, and all that in the school, because Catholic school, they were saying to the children that Lumumba is a very dangerous communist. And my child, what the communists they do to the children, they take the children from their mothers.
Yes.
This guy, from 10 to 14 years old, was hating Lumumba.
No.
From 10 years old until 14, he was hating Lumumba because they say he's a communist and they take away children from their mother. That was
isn't that very typical? Isn't that very typical of imperialism in general? It seems like they take their own lie projected onto the other side, and then like, oh, look, they're doing that. I mean, it's the same thing that we hear Malcolm saying, giving a very good example here, that they beat you, they do all crazy things to you, but the moment you start defending yourself as a Black person, you become an extremist.
Voilà, of course. But that's but true hard. I think the only way to let the thinking pass through something emotional as a art form, like a movie or a book. I think it's the only way It's the only way you can, because the idea and goes slightly through essays or through journalism. It doesn't pass so good through emotion.
But would you say movie is even a bit stronger? Because I mean, If
Yeah, it's straight. Yeah.
because
You
if
know,
I
but
put myself of a white person in a white person's shoes, for example, learning about these atrocities, it absolutely creates some kind of, if I write or talk about it, it creates some kind of resistance in the person, and also a lot of cognitive dissonance. Whereas when you show it, this is not, there's no, it's not my word. This is actually the image of what happened. Then, I mean, people can still invent all kind of explanations, but I find that it's probably less probable because you have proof there. So it's not like the messenger is inventing something. This is actually what happened.
and that's the only way. Like I always say that the only way I wanted to speak, I say I was thinking not through journalism or something. I could do it, but it was through books. Because what I say is very hard. Also, it's very hard. I never, all my books are tragedies, But I mean, you see that every time when you're reading it, okay, but they are very hard tragedies, especially Congo Inc. Congo Inc. is
Dreams
very,
crashing, lives destroyed.
but I mean, the soundtrack for Coup d'Etat is it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. There's nothing to say. And he was, and what I can admire to is he did with this movie without any prejudice, not without any judgment. He just took the things, very flat. In a formidable music, of course, but just put the thing there, showing us the views of the demonstrations.
Exactly. So for the Congolese young of today, or for activists, or even like people sort of just becoming acquainted with the topic or the question, what will be the strongest message to them? Other than we will survive.
Then, I mean, we the older one, we the elders, we have the transmission.
I think the younger ones are
and the young ones,
actually more in need of it.
the young ones, you have to search a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to stay in the comfort of they tell you something and you just listen to it like that. No,
Right.
you have to go more far in the way you think. Especially those days, because those days are the days of AI and things like that. The video and all all those things, intelligence things. It's more present. There's too much pictures, too much video, too much. So but you have to search more, because it's easy to make you think what is not true. And the young way, something like this movie, the soundtrack, it's something important, very, very important. I mean, something you have to advise to a lot of people to say to go and the occasion to see it.
I am trying. I am trying, but the issue here with a lot of young people is the politics. That I think in the diaspora in general, that they don't want to touch on the politics. And so how do you bridge that?
Yeah, I try with books. I'm politic in my book. I mean, not all writers, but I mean, but they don't like to read much either. But
No,
I mean,
but we show them that your, whether or not, whether you want it
No,
or
but
not,
sometimes
politics is
maybe,
there.
I mean, politics, you can talk about politics through a meeting, or not only meeting, but something, an event, something, there's something happening, or like through a theater thing or theater play, or how do you call that, installation and things like that,
What about
You
the
can,
music?
I mean, to try music, of course, I mean, the music, even music, I was going to nightclub when I was young, when I was 16, 18, I was going to nightclub. But that time, all the musicians, they were singing, they were talking about the civil rights. They were talking about the liberation of black and men and women. But I'm in nightclub, and I'm dancing on Said Loud, I'm black and proud of James Brown. But when I hear that, it's a message from me. I mean, that the politics must be in that way.
Exactly right.
It must be in that way.
Mhm.
That's why my books are all politics, all. But anybody can read it.
Our
You know,
existence is
it's
political
always
as well.
politics. It's very. I mean,
Absolutely. Okay, Jean, I've extended a few minutes longer than I was supposed to, but I have to close now. And so to you and to everybody that are watching the stream, we would like to thank you, In Koli Jean Bofane, from Congolese Heritage, as well as from Friends of the Congo and from Cinema Zita, for sharing your experiences and insights. Your reflections remind us that history, literature, and memory are deeply intertwined. And as we leave here, let us carry these stories, not just as records of the past, but as living lessons for the present and for the future. Thank you so much for being with us today.
thanks for what I can.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.